Testing. Okay. it's working. Did you? You're very welcome. What did I do different? Oh, they're a lot more detailed? Okay. Okay.
Good evening. We'll call the meeting to order. At this time, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chuck Warfield. Alice Rodowitz. Cheryl Johnson.
Here.
Mike Wynn.
Here.
Rick Phillips.
Here.
At this time, does anyone have any opening remarks? Going forward, are we in compliance with the Nevada Open Meeting Law?
Yes, we are.
This time we'll take public comment related to the items on the agenda below. In consideration of others who may wish to provide public comment, please avoid repetition and limit your comments to no more than 3 minutes. Do we have any public comment?
Wait a minute. I do not believe that we do.
Item 3, items for discussion and possible action of the Caliente Planning Commission. A, approve and deny meeting minutes for 9/1/2021.
There she is.
Would anyone like to make a motion on the minutes for September 1st?
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes.
On the motion. Okay, Coach, you made that motion.
Yes. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item B, recommendation to the council for Alexandria Johnston's request for a conditional use permit to have a garage at 190 Front Street used as their welding business workshop.
Does she own the property?
She does not.
It is her aunt's.
Pardon?
It's her aunt's property.
The owner of the property makes the request for the conditional use permit
Oh.
as
Okay.
it goes with the property.
How come I didn't think of that?
Say that one more time.
My understanding that the owner of the property makes a request for the conditional use permit.
I don't think Alexandria owns that. I think it's her aunt's.
In fact, on one of the responses, I think that was actually made as a correction.
Seemed like that's what we had to do with the Photoshop when they had it down to Mike Harding's property, right by the Rose Park. But Mike had to put in the permit for the people that were
Yeah, I
gonna
mean,
use it.
It's gotta be the owner of property, right? Or the property owner.
So we
Property-
should-
It says she owns it though.
No, what she owns.
Does it say that?
Oh,
It
She
says
does
190,
not.
it says she owns 190 Front Street.
No.
Make that clarification with her.
Well,
But
as it goes forward to the council, it should be
Yes, and that can be done.
corrected. In fact, who made the,
So can we approve pending a revised conditional use permit application, or do we?
yeah, I mean, she
Mhm.
states that she's owned it. If we find out like, I understand this board might have a different opinion. She says she's owned it. I mean, we can deliberate that if you'd like, but there's no liability on us to do, it's on her. And if the owner comes back and says, I don't want this, then we'll just pull the conditional use permit.
well, I move that we approve the conditional use permit for that property address, 190 Front Street, to be converted. No, that's, wait a minute. Are we on the right one here? Oh, it's actually something else. I think I misspoke. I move that we approve the conditional use permit for 190 Front Street to be used as the business welding shop.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Going on to the next item, recommendation to the council regarding Leonard Smith's conditional use permit to use the office space on 509 Main Street as a rental unit.
Okay, question I have. If we change it to a rental and it's one property, do we have an ordinance against, you can't have two people
Well,
on the same property, or how's that work?
the same problem. We're talking about a conditional use permit for Alexander Johnson.
No,
I was kind of mixing it up for, that's what's on the agenda, right?
yeah, but we just
You
approved
approved
that.
that. Okay, you're going to the next one.
Right,
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were
that's
still,
okay. I'm lost too.
I was still
No, this
looking at
is-
something else.
Residents on one property,
Well,
two dwellings, I should say.
that's what the conditional
Usually
use
use
permit is.
permits.
So if if it's zoned as a single family residential and he's asking for a conditional use to use it as a multifamily residential, then that would be the conditional use.
Okay, in that way, was that the way it was put out when they sent the letters out?
I didn't put out the letter.
No, it wasn't put out that way, but I did put out the letters.
Well, when I purchased a piece of property, it was a business and a residence, and it was commercial, and then it's been zoned residential. Does that mean that I can no longer use the second building as residential? I mean, as commercial? You know, when zoning keeps being changed,
Yeah.
it creates issues.
So, I mean, it's already zoned residential.
Yeah,
Is it going to be a multifamily dwelling or a single family dwelling?
It's the office space, which is like a garage.
Right, I understand, but I'm
Okay.
saying the
So-
use after the conditional use, is it going to be a,
You gotta speak.
I can't hear what you're saying there, so I'm sorry, I'm too deaf, but you're talking about my deal?
yeah, your rental, is there only one rental or is there multiple rentals?
I'm sorry, I understand everything that's going on here.
Is there one rental or multiple rentals?
Huh?
One rental or more than one rental?
It's not a rental at all.
Right, it's a it's an
a
office.
place where my children can come and visit. They can't go down the stairs in the basement where our house is, where they can stay. It's the only place they can stay.
Is it attached to your house?
No, it's in my garage. It's where my office used to be. And I don't have room use for the office anymore, so I want to merely change it so my children can sleep overnight or something there and whatever. It's just ridiculous to have to come over here. But anyhow, I didn't know about it until 5 minutes ago before I got here. Somebody told me there's a meeting here. So I came. That's all I know about it.
okay.
Wasn't your,
Any questions about that?
you have used your property,
I'm not terribly sorry.
that's okay. You have used your property, your office as a commercial. And at some point, that property was zoned commercial, wasn't it?
Commercial? I don't know what you mean by that. It was my office.
You were, yeah, it was used commercially.
Survey.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
finished to stop surveying anymore last year. I'm kind of 95 years old. It's kind of hard to keep working. My children are all
Yeah.
retiring, and I thought I might too.
Yeah. We have used your services, so we know that. it's
Many
been used.
times.
Yes.
It sounds like it's
But
just like,
able to be deaf. I don't know.
It's-
It's just can't hear all this bouncing around. I just don't understand what's being said.
A lot of echoes, yes.
I don't think we have to take any action because it sounds like it's a spare room,
Okay.
like that he's not using as a rental property. So I think he's fine. Right, it's just a bedroom and a garage is what it sounds like. Is anyone getting else anything different than that, Cheryl?
Mm-mm.
Okay, you're good to use it as a spare room.
Is it okay?
Yep.
Yep.
Some of these people too, I guess.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, thank you, people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Leonard.
Thank you.
Sorry to death, I just said it.
How's your son doing?
Huh?
How's your son?
Well, I visited with him yesterday and said that. Oh, it's St. George.
We're gonna refund
And
his money,
they wouldn't let me go in to see him.
refund his money.
And we argued with them for about a half hour there, back and forth, back and forth. Finally, they put him on a wheelchair and brought him downstairs. And we visited with him a while in the garden, which is probably a lot better than visiting in that room.
Good,
So we got by with it all right.
good. Thank you.
Took a while to talk about it.
Thanks, Leonard. You're good to go.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay, so as I see it, since he's not gonna use it to rent it out to anybody, we just let it go, and he probably should get his $150 back if he put his, right? I mean,
I think that's appropriate.
as long as we don't make any actions and we know he's not renting it. Of course, if he starts renting, it becomes a different issue, but till then, I think we're okay, right?
Since that's how it was brought to me. And so it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Well, he was trying to be in compliance, and I think that's speaks well for him.
Mhm.
But I think we need to, because he doesn't need it. we
Would that need
refund
to
it.
be motioned or made a motion,
Yeah,
moved?
we'll just refund him since we didn't take
Okay.
any action.
Sounds good.
Because we're really not changing anything, so,
Yeah.
right?
It was kind of like last meeting where the road easement,
Yeah.
and
Okay, at this time, for discussion only,
No, you're skipping one.
You keep
Oh, I'm
missing-
sorry.
you keep missing D, Cheryl. Cheryl does not want to talk about D.
recommendation to council to replace the illegible street signs in the city and subsequent maintenance.
Somebody wanted that on the agenda. It was, I got it directly off of the
Rhea
recording.
Roberts in public comments mentioned that there's several, which there are, several street signs that you cannot even remotely
There's not
even
even
guess.
letters.
They're just green. So we said we'd put it on the agenda for this time.
Yes.
Um,
Do we know any specific street signs or just want to send a strongly worded letter to the city council to replace your street signs?
Strongly worded,
We,
most of them that are facing to the south,
anything
have,
facing
the
the sun.
sun has faded them out.
But,
And,
you know,
it's-
when Jerry Carter started the project when, and they had those street signs made, they can make those in the shop. And that's how they made them. And they're really nice over there on Lincoln Street and by the Catholic Church. You know, that one block they got done when they thought they had the money to do a block every year. It didn't turn out that way, but
They were more than just replace,
that, I'd suggest we do it the same way with the other street signs.
do they still have that skill in the shop?
I think they still do, but I'm not sure.
If they have that skill available to pay for it, would be expensive, but if they have
Because-
someone skilled to make those beautiful
Yeah, I
street
think,
signs.
yeah, I think Jimmy Ebert was making them.
Isn't he the one made the gate sign out here as well at
Yes.
the depot?
Yes.
So they can do that detail, but to me, I think they're really nice and adds a little more class to the city.
So at this time, would anyone like to make a motion regarding the recommendation to the council?
The problem with making a motion is we don't know what their budget is. We don't know how much it would cost to
So
do
we-
signs.
Craig and I can just talk to Grant and see what we can do about that.
So do you want
Probably
to,
the easiest way to do it.
Even if they're gradually being replaced, you can show, progress.
Perhaps we'll talk to Grant about getting a list, an order that he's gonna replace those street signs, so we have a project list or something.
Okay, that'd be good.
are we tabling this?
Yeah, we'll just.
Table.
Okay, moving forward, item number 4 for discussion only. Item A, building inspector's report. Was Ken able to get that to you?
No, he did not get me a building inspector's report. I know he got caught up in Cedar City. And so I apologize.
Okay. Next item is the update on the progress of the owner notifications for cleaning up properties to be in compliance with the City of Caliente Ordinance number 138 that was passed on March 3rd, 1994.
And if any of you guys are wondering why we put the date there, because I actually found two number 138 ordinances, so I just wanted to make sure.
Thank you.
Just to let you know.
Are they for the
It was
same
the way
thing?
she read the date.
What?
Are they for the same thing? or
No,
two
they're
different
two
things?
totally separate things.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't mess up on the numbering. So. I forget what the other one was, but it didn't have to do with.
But isn't that the way you're supposed to have it? So people could look up the ordinance so they know what we're talking about when we're in meeting anyway?
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I put the date, but usually the number's fine because you can just go to City Hall and like, hey, I want to look at ordinance number 138, but there's two of them, right?
Okay.
Okay, so that's kind of on us. Ken, was under the understanding that he was taking the list and getting PO box addresses so we could mail them. No, he was just gonna get addresses. Well, we can't mail anything to an address. No problem, okay, so I find this out today. And Charlie, our utility clerk, God bless her soul, she was able to, in an hour and a half, do 2 of your pages, Coach, where she was able to go, because what the process is we look at his maps, we look at his comments, and this is for his. We'll do Mike's the same way. But then we pull up the parcel map, find out who owns it, then we go into our system and find the PO box, okay? If it's somebody who we don't have a PO box for, then I look it up in the recorder. So between the two of us, we should be able to get these done fairly, we're hoping next week. She thinks she can get most of them done tomorrow, but I don't, it depends on how busy the day is. You know how that goes.
Have we checked who's non-compliant? Because we're gonna send stuff out in the bill, right?
No.
No, didn't happen.
thought
Well,
we-
I mean, we can, but
I
why?
think we're still doing that, aren't we?
Yeah, well, we will still send that, but
Last time we missed the bill.
yes.
Okay.
And so we thought the letters would get out and they didn't get out this time. So
Okay, I was just making sure we're not talking about the notice letter, right? We're
Yeah,
talking about the
yeah,
clean up your yard.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Gotcha.
And on mine, I think there was only 8 that were corresponding to the map. It was easier for me to just do it by address. So
Well,
Two
and
pages.
that is absolutely no
it's,
problem.
2 pages of address, but 8 of them only had to go with the map. 'cause I
Well,
didn't-
and I'm pretty sure that, I'll bet you, dollars to donuts, they coincide with Rick's and with Cheryl's and with Alice's. And, you know, I'm just,
Mine have grown.
yeah. Well, the reason we're using Rick's is because it's everything.
Makes sense.
You know, I mean, he's covered everything. And so, like we said, we are what do you call that? Collating or, comparing and contrasting
Thank you.
everybody's list. So,
is there a way as we move forward with this that we can mark the maps like a number or a number system so we can say, okay, this is number 8.
well, can I
For
explain to
everybody.
you why this year has been so rough?
Yeah, you told me, I think.
What happened is we were able to pull up the parcel, okay, I look at it, pull up the parcel, and there's a red number on it, and you could click it at the time, and it would bring up their information. That doesn't work. For some reason, I believe they said that they have updated something, and they're trying to get that link to work. It still does not work. So that's why it's been very difficult this time to get, because it was, believe me, a lot easier to be able to look and say, oh, that property, yep, that matches, here's their information. But we've had to come up with a entire system.
That was working last month when I was looking up.
If you touch
It
that
has
red
been down
number.
for at
I
least
was
4
able to bring
months.
it up under a certain map when Roberts were in here, and I was able to click on each parcel and his information came up. No, I don't, yeah,
What map did you find that on? Because girl, if I can get it, I want it.
it was, it's always an experience going in there because it's never really the same. But it was,
Or just turn it like owners of parcels?
No, the Lincoln County Assessor's website has been down for a minimum of 4 months.
But you can still use the GIS and
Oh.
that'll list who the owner. is.
Yeah, it will
I
list
may
who
have
the
gone
owner
under,
is.
I may have gone under the treasurer.
Specific.
I may have gone under the
information.
treasurer instead of the assessor.
I think where I got confused is that you were able to bring up the name of who owns it. Yes, we can see the name of who owns it. We cannot see their mailing address.
Well, that
We
may be true.
used to be able to click
That
that
may-
red number. That's where I
I was
think
just
you-
looking at owner.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking.
Yeah,
Okay.
you would be able to click the red number and it would pop you to their
Okay.
information.
I
Can
wasn't
we
looking.
Just not cross-reference it with our utility bills?
That's what we are doing. See, that's the new system.
Progress.
We've got it. Believe me.
So then it sounds like they'll be out within, maybe by the end of the week.
Barring, okay, I don't want to make promises I can't keep.
So I haven't seen the letter. Are we giving them 2 weeks, 4 weeks?
It's 2 weeks once they receive it.
I thought some of them already got it because I see some cleanup going on right now.
You know, some progress just in the small.
And I know, the one young man that was cleaning, next door to,
Next week.
Mhm.
he can't, he doesn't have enough time to do all the jobs that people call him about.
Well, it could be too, because like you mentioned, Cheryl, there hasn't been anybody that would do that work.
Well, the one next to him did such a great job and they put it on Facebook. I think he's about 2 months out.
Yeah, no, that was a friend of mine whose house, and she's the one that put it up there and said, call this guy.
Right. Well, he's now 2 months out at least.
Oh, it gives me the chills,
He
makes me
did
happy.
amazing.
Yeah.
Even found a snake, but
Yeah,
yeah.
rattlesnake in the yard.
Even three houses down from you. I mean, you
Oh, yeah.
They can't have them.
know, good too.
All right, moving forward,
And
an
then
update on the street light replacements.
And I think that's what Tommy was gonna do. Oh, Rose Park's still out?
Right, on all four corners.
Okay.
So this was talked about in the last meeting. Oh, sorry, in the city council meeting.
Oh, you can give an update.
Oh, yeah. So it was talked about in the city council meeting. Oh, his mic.
Chucks.
Initially, they thought it was like a wiring problem, but they want to test the light bulbs first. And we didn't have any, so they had to order the light bulbs. Then they're going to install them just to make sure it's not a burnt out light bulb, to make sure it's not a wiring problem. And so that's on top of their list. They have ordered the light bulbs and they're just waiting for them to come in.
And I did process that order.
Thank God, they did all of the corners of the park, but none of the interior.
Yeah, we're waiting for light bulbs.
thank you.
Comment on that? Moving forward, we'll go to the public comment related to any matters concerning the city of Caliente. And consider about of others who may wish to provide public comment, please avoid repetition and limit your comments to no more than 3 minutes. Is there anyone that has public comment? Zendo?
I'm not seeing anything. No.
Okay. At this time, then, we'll schedule the date and review the agenda topics for the next meeting.
Okay. Like it will be October 6th.
And I think we should discussion, have the update on the owner notifications. Will we have the street light information?
On how long it takes light bulbs to get.
Yeah.
Exactly, sure. Else, I think.
Oh, that's what I think the owner
The owner
notifications.
knows.
And the lights. Okay, anything else?
At this point, we will adjourn the meeting.